everyone. So I have a little bit of a life update. As you can tell from the title, I am leaving my PhD program. And so the purpose of this video, I really just want to kind of explain why I'm leaving and what I'm doing, where I'm going. When I was contemplating leaving, I looked for these kinds of videos on YouTube, and I think it can be helpful to see someone else's perspective, someone's journey, how they made their decision, and all of that. So that's what I'm here to do today. If you're new to my channel and just clicking on this, hello, my name is Zoe. I just finished, it is the end of summer, but I just finished my third year of my PhD program, so I was supposed to be entering my fourth year this fall. And you may say, that seems like you're quite a ways in, why don't you just go ahead and finish? Well, it's not that simple. The program I'm in, which by the way is experimental psychology, would be about a 5-year degree, but oftentimes people take about 6. People in my particular lab tend to take even longer, like 6.5 or so. And so I'm really only maybe halfway through. And COVID really slowed me down a lot too. I do research in the developmental area. I study babies and kids. And when COVID hit, I never finished the project I was working on. I was never able to finish that sample. I had to completely rework my project and what I was doing to try to study what I wanted to study online. And that just really didn't work. I was in a developmental neuroscience lab and we're supposed to be doing neuroimaging, which obviously can't be done remotely. I wanted to do behavioral assessments, which are very hard to do over Zoom. It's very hard to really see a child's small behaviors and motor movements and things like that over a computer. I shifted a lot of my studies to this Zoom format, but none of them really worked out. So I never finished that first project. The second project I did, I got results that were not significant, not interesting, not publishable. I reworked it, I switched my research question a little bit, I tried something else, I did another online study. Again, those results were not significant, not interesting, not publishable. And I get that. I feel like there's a lot of people maybe in similar circumstances where you feel like you keep working and you just keep being let down. And I understand that. I get you. So that was one of the main reasons why I'm leaving, is just the research I have been doing has not gone the way I thought it would, which is, I know how research goes, but I really just, the thought of going through more and more and more research projects to get nowhere sounds terrible to me. It really breaks down your feeling of self-worth and feeling as you as a good scientist and a producer of research and things like that. If I can't publish, if I can't contribute to the community I'm trying to help, then what's the point? So yeah, my particular field of research has been very hard to complete due to COVID, and it's honestly just been unfulfilling for me. Again, I study kids and babies and toddlers. I study early development of autism spectrum disorders, and I haven't really even been able to work with families much. I see them for like 5 minutes on Zoom, and then I say goodbye, and that's it. And because my research has gone nowhere and I haven't gotten any cool results, then I feel like there's kind of no point to it. I guess in grad school I've had so much input and I've worked so much for no output, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere. But that's not the only reason. I actually wrote down some reasons here of why I'm leaving, and I really do think it is the right decision. I know people are always gonna say like, oh, but you're quitting, and you're always gonna think, what if you stayed, and all of that, but I really do think this is what's best for me in my career, and so that's the decision that I have made personally without thinking about what other people want me to do. Also, another main reason is that I started looking into jobs pretty seriously probably about 6 months ago or so, because I really wanted to think about, okay, what do I want to do after I graduate? Where am I going? What kind of jobs are out there? What am I working towards? I thought if I had some kind of job or end goal to work towards once I had graduated, that would help me get to the end. But instead, what it actually kind of did was made me realize that I don't need a PhD. All the jobs I was looking into, which is mainly like working at autism clinics, actually working with families, maybe providing services or doing diagnostic assessments, doesn't require a PhD. So why am I here? And basically all of them required a master's, which I actually already got through my PhD program. The first 2 years was basically spent taking classes and getting a master's degree, and then all the years after that are spent actually working towards your PhD. So I already got my master's a year ago. I'm done with that part. And I already have that qualification. And so some people also talk about, so it's called mastering out of the PhD program. When you leave your PhD program partway through, when you've finished your master's but haven't gotten your PhD yet. And I understand that it is somewhat frowned upon because usually people have to pay a lot of money for a master's, but if you get it through your PhD program, then it is paid for because I am being paid in my PhD program, so I basically got a free master's out of it. I understand that that's frowned upon. That was not my intention going into the program. Obviously, I wasn't going to enter with the intention of leaving, but I really do think that's what is best for me. So if you're in a similar position, just do think about that. Maybe if you're close to getting your master's, you might want to get that first, because this master's degree is really helping me towards all the jobs that I want, and they don't require a PhD, so I don't need that. So once I realized that I really only need a master's degree to do what I want to do, I thought, what's the point of staying here another 3 years or so to try to write out a dissertation and do more research that goes nowhere and keep feeling like I'm being knocked down again and again when I could just start the job I want to do now? And that leads into another point I have, which is honestly just better pay. I could nearly double my income right now if I leave and go get a position with the skills and qualifications that I have than if I stayed in this program. Graduate students are notoriously underpaid. So I would love to just get paid more earlier and not go through many more years of very minimal funding living in a very expensive city. Another reason I'm leaving is that I can just gain more relevant experience. If I don't need all this experience between now and when I would get my PhD, if it's not relevant towards what I want to actually do, then I shouldn't do that either. Again, a lot of the jobs I was looking at was kind of looking for experience in slightly different areas, so I could even go get that for the next couple years and then be eligible. Whereas if I stayed in my current program, I would be getting experience that isn't actually relevant to those jobs that I want. And then also through my 3 years of graduate school that I've found out a lot about myself. I think especially through COVID as well, I've had a lot of time to kind of self-reflect on things. And I've found out a lot of things that I've really liked about my job and things that I really don't like about my job. And something I realized through grad school that I really don't like doing is reading and writing, I guess. I found it was like pulling teeth to get me to write academic papers to be published. And maybe that's why I don't have any publications. Also, that's probably because all my experiments have failed. But getting myself to sit down and write a paper, I don't know why. I just couldn't do it. I would write like one paragraph and then I just had to take a break. I couldn't do it anymore. I don't exactly know why this is. I do think I'm actually a decent writer, but I just hate doing it. And I found it very hard to read. I've actually never been a strong reader my entire life. I've struggled since, I think the first time I remember this really being an issue was in like 3rd grade. I'd read a paragraph, have no idea what I just read. Any standardized test I've taken, so the SAT, the ACT, all those like state tests that you take in elementary school and middle school and all of that, reading was always by far my lowest score. I did really well on math and science and all those things, and I just couldn't freaking read. Can't remember what I've read, and I don't know why. I don't know what's different about my brain or whatever, but I really struggled with that in grad school because it requires you to read all these academic papers and synthesize them together and figure out who did what and when and how you're gonna do something else, and it was very difficult for me. So the reading aspect mixed with having to write about the readings was really not great for me, and now I know that about myself. And then other than that, there's also just a few other reasons that are more lab and program specific that I'm not going to talk about online because they involve other people. But I do know that a lot of people leave PhD programs due to toxic mentoring or things like that. That is not my case, but I do know that a lot of people have that reasoning behind it as well. So that is all the reasoning I have to the decision that I've made. I hope that maybe if you're watching this, if you are thinking about doing something similar, maybe this helps you towards making your decision. And I'm also not here to guide you one way or the other. I think one thing I really appreciated about my whole process in making this decision is that different people I talked to, like my mentor and my parents, really let me know that this was a decision I need to make for myself and not for other people, and that I should be doing what is truly best for me. So I'm not trying to persuade anyone one way or the other. It's very specific to you and your situation. Just remember to really think about what is best for yourself and not what you think is best or what pleases the people around you. Alright, and that is all I've got for today. That is my big life announcement. I will be filming a few videos going forward, probably making this life transition. I still have to go clean out my office and everything up at work. I might be moving. I don't know. It depends what job I get, really. I'm applying to jobs right now and trying to figure out where I am going afterwards. So I'm entering a little bit of an exciting yet scary time, but I'm excited to document this life transition here on my channel and show you guys a little bit of what it's like to change career paths. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more content, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye.